CDC released some sobering facts this afternoon. Homicides from gun violence jumped 35% in the first year of the pandemic, the highest increase in almost 30 years. And Channel 2's Dave Huddleston is live with the strategy the CDC's could lower the number of deaths.
Yeah, Linda, it seems like we're reporting on more and more gun violence cases these days. Right behind me there at the Blue Flame Lounge, a man was shot and killed there in January in the parking lot. The CDC says state support to lower violence is important, but so is community help.
We were concerned that Black manhood was becoming so defined by gangsterism, thug behavior.
That's why Mawali Davis and others founded Let Us Make Man to show young people gun violence isn't the answer.
Black men and our role has to be one of positivity, of building in our community and of supporting our community.
The Atlanta-based CDC said in an audio conference call Tuesday, programs like Let Us Make Man is what's needed to stop the dramatic increase in the U.S. homicide rate from gun violence. It jumped 35% in 2020.
Firearm injury is tragically a major public health problem in the United States.
The CDC said gun homicides increased across the board, but Black men saw even more deaths.
To put this in perspective, the rate among young Black men and boys ages 10 to 24 was more than 21 times as high as the rate for white males in the same age group.
Dr. Thomas Simon said they suspect COVID-19 played a role in the increase after people lost their jobs, their homes, even social isolation. He said support from state agencies does help, but charities like Let Us Make Man program that works with young people have the greatest impact.
We see the need of expanding all over the Atlanta metro area and providing what we call these safe spaces for young Black men to come into, to know that they can be vulnerable, but they'll be loved on and encouraged and supported.
And Davis says his organization, Let Us Make Man, is having an event this Saturday at the C.T. Martin Recreation Center in northwest Atlanta. We put information about that on our website, WSBTV.com. Reporting live from Northwest Atlanta, Dave Huddleston, Channel 2 Action News.
Today is Friday, May 13th. The year is 2022, and we're still in the coronavirus pandemic. I'm sitting outside of my deck of the home I recently purchased outside the backyard. Severe. I don't know if y'all can see the backyard back there, landscape and all that pretty stuff. Anyway, so I'm sitting outside. A lot of my friends were criticizing me. They said, "Why did you move a little bit further out from the city of Atlanta?" I've lived in the city of Atlanta for 30 years, and I've lived in the suburbs before. But the past 2 years, while we've been in this pandemic, Atlanta has been a very violent place. I've had personal friends that I've known, acquaintances, people I personally know have been killed, shot and killed. People I know who were just driving down the highway were, one friend in particular, he was driving down I-20, he was shot. He lived, shot 7 times and survived, just minding his business. There were other people that I knew of or heard about who were shot and killed. A lot of people, it's kind of weird because I've been in Atlanta for such a long period of time, but when you see people that you personally don't know yourself who are being shot and killed, and they're just driving down the highway minding their business, this becomes a problem. So for me, I decided I couldn't stay in Niggaville no more, y'all. I just couldn't do it no more. It's too dangerous. As much as I wanted to live downtown or in the city, I found myself afraid to go out when the sun went down, afraid to even go to a gas station, afraid to just do normal stuff that I normally had done normally did on my own. Just normal activities at nighttime or anything. I would run home and close the door, and you all may say, well, that's kind of crazy, but I have had people that I know who were bigger than me shot and killed. And I don't know why people think size mean anything. A bullet can kill anybody dead. But to see this report where they just said Black men are 21 more times higher to be shot and killed than white is very concerning to me, because nobody's discussing it. Because in Niggaville, don't nobody give a damn about each other. We will grab a gun and shoot each other over absolutely nothing. Nothing. And when I saw gun violence and people getting killed right near where I just moved from, which was a middle class to upper middle class clean neighborhood in Grant Park. When I saw people literally getting shot and killed just steps away from my home, a 1 minute walk away, there were 2 or 3 incidents in that area where people were shot and killed that I drove by every day. And I would drive by and see the memorials left for these people, and I'd say, wow, this is crazy. So for me, I made a decision. I can't do Niggaville no more. I'm going to have to go out a little bit further, find me a little bit of privacy. It's quiet out here. There ain't no crackheads dancing in the street. There ain't no niggas running wild. It's a happy, clean environment out here. And I would have loved to have lived in a high rise. But I drove back into the city yesterday to take care of some business, and I looked at all that depressing homelessness, all these homeless people, these bums walking around, this poverty. I said, where I'm living at now would be considered a heaven. So far, the few acquaintances I have that come over here, they're like, wow, they're in such shock, like, this is a beautiful home, beautiful area. I kind of lucked up and got a good deal on this one, because there are other homes that sold for more than what this house I paid for this house, and they're in. Well, like I said, this house has some issues, so this wasn't for the faint at heart. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell I bought it damn? I should have ran too. Shit, hell, I know what I know now. But I did some improvements to it. I don't know if y'all can see the deck. I, redid the deck, and there's some things that. We painted it, rather repaired, made some repairs on it and stuff. It just seemed to go on and on and on. I had to leave Niggaville for my own protection. When I look at my friends, black family members and friends who live in these urban areas, if they don't get out of there, they're going to be another statistic. You cannot live in these urban areas around other ignorant black folks, because they will kill you for no reason at all. They don't need a reason. We are 21 more times more likely to be shot and killed, more than likely by another black person than some white person anyway. Why? I couldn't tell you. I used to go out to clubs and parties and hang out in Atlanta all night long. So in the past few years, I said, oh, no, let me go my ass home. The past decade, as violence increased in the city, I ran my ass to the house and locked the door. But as this pandemic got started, and police were nowhere to be found because they was hiding from the coronavirus. Do you blame their asses? I'd be hiding too. But as the pandemic spread, as the virus spread and we entered into the pandemic, police vanished. And it seemed like people just kind of went crazy. Maybe it's the coronavirus making people crazy. Who knows? I'm like, what is wrong with these people? But I realized for myself that it didn't make sense for me to continue to stay in an environment that was dangerous. I had friends who go back into these. I have a friend who's from Chicago. He always goes back to Chicago, south side of Chicago, to visit his mom and family members and stuff. I said, why do you go back there? And you just need to be careful, because they know you're doing well, you're driving a nice car, you're going back into the hood. And I would be very careful. You have all these people, they're just jealous, hateful people out there today. And they don't care about your life and what you're doing or how they just don't give a rat's ass. In Niggaville, they will kill you for no reason. They don't have to have a reason, other than the fact that you're just happy. Y'all need, if you want to separate yourself from Niggaville, please do it for your own safety. It sounds great to live around. The neighborhood that I live in now, I have some black neighbors. I really don't know. I've seen my own neighbors. I saw some old white folks. But there are some black neighbors I've met walking down the street, couples. I've met a lot of gay couples, a lot of straight couples. I haven't really had time to meet anybody because I've been too busy going to Home Depot, in Lowe's, in the lumber yards. And my appliances will be delivered next week, so hopefully I have my refrigerator and stove. I can start cooking at home again. I'm home. I'm sitting there starving right now. Girls ain't gonna bring something to eat, so we might not get that food until God knows when you get here. It's gonna be freezing cold. I'm gonna eat it up anyway. He said you're gonna go pick up something. I said, please do. Be careful out there, y'all. There was a lot of pride in the neighborhoods that we lived in. You could live in a black neighborhood and be safe. Used to be. Can't do that now. You cannot do that. Black folks are just too deadly and too dangerous. You have to make a decision, what is this? Black neighborhoods have become too dangerous. And even much as I would love to have lived in I looked at a house in a predominantly black neighborhood. This is before I looked at this house. They were asking quite a bit of money for that house. I drove down there and looked at that house. The neighborhood is sort of going through gentrification down there. Maybe it ain't, maybe it is. I don't know. Hard to say. There were a lot of dumpsters and renovations going on with the house. As we were pulling up to the house, a few blocks away from the house, these crackheads were fighting in the street. It was just utter mayhem down there. And I thought, wow, we got to drive through this to get to this house. The house we got to the house is spectacular. But look, we had to drive through it. And I was thinking, this is going to be dangerous. We got to get off the highway and drive through this hot spot of Niggaville. We got to go through Niggaville to get home every day. And I thought, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to go through an area where there are homeless people and trash and filth and this craziness. Yeah, I brought my ass out here where I'm at now. I love my people, but I know my people, we will kill each other without even a thought. It's just like, I'm going to grab a gun and just start shooting. There's so many incidents of violence that just don't make no sense. However, I would never forget, many years ago, I lived in Stone Mountain at that time, and there was a Crystals that everybody used to go to late at night after we left the clubs. Well, one night we pulled up to the Crystals, and there was police tape everywhere, police all over the place, and I found out the next day that at that Crystals restaurant, which is just a little hamburger joint, two guys got into a shootout inside the lobby of the Crystals restaurant because one guy ate a French fry off the other guy's plate. He picked up his food, he ate it, was drunk, took a French fry. And they got to shoot over a fucking French fry. I'm thinking, if a guy had got a French fry off my plate, I said, man, you can have some more French fries. Come on, let's laugh and have fun. We're going to order some fries for everybody. But they got into a shootout. Both those guys were shot and killed, and another innocent person who was minding his business ordering some food was shot and killed too in this restaurant over a fucking French fry. I was like, and I stopped going to that Crystals over there. And at one point, Crystals used to serve breakfast at around midnight. They stopped that breakfast at midnight shit, because they said, these niggas crazy. They started doing breakfast in the regular traditional. They would start breakfast about 11, 12 at night. You can go get breakfast at Crystals. They don't do that no more. They stopped that years ago. You can get your Crystal burger, that's about it. But I never forgot about that, because it's kind of stuck in my head that this man, these three men lost their lives. One innocent person who just did it over French fry. I'm like, what in the world are we coming to? And that's when I stopped going to certain clubs. I stopped going around certain elements, because everywhere you go, everybody got a damn gun. Everybody pack. I got my gun. I'm going to take my gun with me. We just going to McDonald's. What you need a gun for? I got to get my gun. We just going to the grocery store. And I have friends who carry guns. I always ask, what do you need it for? Well, we just going up the street. I might run into something. And shooting your gun is going to be the best scenario. You think we're going to get robbed and carjacked at 12 noon in the middle of the daytime, going to Publix grocery store, or going to Kroger, or going to what? I know shit happens in Niggaville. That's why I don't want to live there no more. I looked at houses in neighborhoods that were transitioning, going through gentrification, and them neighborhoods, a lot of areas near Tyler Perry Studios, if y'all know Oakland City or any of those places. I was kind of looking over there really tough, because I was like, well, I wanted to stay in the city. I couldn't stomach it though, y'all. I looked in Mechanicsville, I looked in Reynoldstown. Reynoldstown was high as hell. Reynoldstown was much cleaner. I didn't have a problem with Reynoldstown, but I looked in Reynoldstown, I looked at historically black neighborhoods in the city: Reynoldstown, Mechanicsville, Summerhill, Pittsburgh, Adair Park, West End, Westview, Oakland City. I looked at all those places, and I thought, this is some dangerous shit over here. And they asked a lot of money for this shit, a lot of money. And the areas are dangerous. Risking your life just to get to your damn house with your groceries. I thought, do I really want to live like this? Again, Reynoldstown. Reynoldstown ain't that bad no more. In fact, Reynoldstown was very nice. This shit was high in Reynoldstown. Reynoldstown 044 was just out of my price range. Could I afford it? Yeah, I didn't want to pay that prices though. 044 used to be one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. It still has some elements over there, but it has improved tremendously. So I looked at 044 and I looked at Reynoldstown. I thought, can't do this, too high. So that's when I started looking in the adjoining neighborhoods like Pittsburgh, West End, Westview, Beecher. I looked in all these historic black neighborhoods, and I thought, I can't do this. I just couldn't. Where do you go to the grocery store? Where do you go? You know, it was just so much riffraff in these areas, so much trash, so much filth, and these houses were high as hell. One of the houses we looked at, eventually we hit the market. We raced down and looked at the house, and them selling over. People bid that house up to $800,000. There's a house that just sold in the West End, almost in the West End, for almost $1 million. I was thinking, wow, who is buying this stuff? And living in these deadly neighborhoods, dangerous areas. As much as I love the Adair Park, and I like Adair Park a lot better than Pittsburgh. When it was affordable and cheap, yeah, I'd gladly buy one. But now you're paying an arm and a leg to lose your life. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. So y'all can see these lights. I have these lights on the house. They're starting to flicker on. I can see inside the house a little bit. I'm sitting out here. I got a nice home out here. It's been a headache renovating, and I hate to say it. I mean, it's just been. I've had some issues out here with, contractors and stuff. Somebody made the comment that in my video, there were a lot of Hispanics working here, y'all. I don't care if these workers came from Mars. When I originally bought this house, I tried to work with a lot of brothers, and a couple of brothers ran off with my money. I ain't heard from them since. What you want me to do? I gave them cash to come out and do work, and we need some money up front, which I normally don't do. I said, okay, I'll take this chance. I've worked with these guys before. I have not seen them since. So I fought myself and cut up the loss. But these Hispanics have showed up here every day. Some of them have been kind of high. I had to chase them away. But for the most part, prices have been pretty reasonable. For the most part. It's troubling. You want to live in a black neighborhood. You want to live around black people. You want to live in this, but you're literally risking your life 21 times higher at risk of being shot and killed in a black area. That says a lot. And it says a hell of a lot for those of you who, I don't know. You want to believe that you can be in a safe neighborhood, but you really can't. Well, you would hope that you can be in a safe neighborhood, but it makes you wonder. I don't know. Anyway, I am about to go up here and take a shower. Yeah, I've been out here. I've been working all day. I've been up since 6, 7 o'clock this morning. I'm going to take a shower and lay down. It's about 8 o'clock tonight, but I'm tired. Day in and day out working in this house is exhausting. I need a break from this old raggedy thing. This old raggedy shack. But it's a safe neighborhood out here. It is safe. I checked the crime stats, 0. No burglaries, no break-ins, no car break-ins, no nothing. Nothing. I think I'd rather live in a safe neighborhood a little bit further out. I'm still 10, 15, 20 minutes from downtown, depending on the traffic. It takes me about 10, 15 minutes to get downtown, maybe 20 minutes. Literally, it took me 20 minutes to get downtown Atlanta on time. From my front door to downtown, 20-minute drive. I don't go down there that often any damn way, so now down there. I don't know. Some people are making one of my friends was making this comment, you way out there, and then literally 2 days later he hit me up and saying that somebody had busted his car. Well, actually, there was a shootout in his neighborhood down in East Point. I hate East Point. I can't do East Point. But there was a shootout in East Point, and a bullet broke out his car windows. And the neighborhood, I don't have to worry about no shootouts going on over here. You can live in safe neighborhoods. There are enough black folks over here, and I'm happy with the mix of. It's an interracial. We have Indian, we have black, we have white, we have Hispanic, we have Korean, we have everything over here. I'm fine with that. We get these crazy bees. I think these are carpenter bees. There's some big bees bottom are flying around this house. They must be carpenter bees. I don't know why they hang around this porch. I'm going to have to find out what they're doing and why they're hanging around. It's kind of weird. Maybe somebody tell me, why are these big bees congregating near this deck out here? It's kind of strange. But anyway, today is Friday. It's May 13th. Friday the 13th. I'm about to go in here and take a shower. I'm literally, y'all can't see me, but I'm covered in dust. I was in there cleaning up and vacuuming. I wish it was another way. But I'm sitting out here on this deck. It's quiet out here. I'm going to go inside the house, and then I'll go from there. If you like my videos, click like. Y'all be careful out there. You know, sometimes we don't want to hear the news and we don't want to listen to what people are saying. But the fact that black American men are 21 more times higher to be shot and killed is alarming to me, and it should be alarming to anyone black. And we need to discuss this, but no one is discussing this. No one has said anything about this. At least I haven't heard anything. Have you all? So let me know. But I'm just curious to know why it's that way. But anyway. How do you fix it? Anyway, today is Friday, May 13th, the year is 2022. I'm out of here. You all go out and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.